Breaking on 4 News now, new details about the mass shooting on the University of Nevada, Las Vegas campus. What we've learned in just the last hour.
Our rain will be turning to snow. I'll show you when to expect the return of wintry weather in the first alert forecast.
And a former airman from Fairchild Air Force Base is going to prison. How he planned to steal ammunition without anyone noticing. You're watching 4 News now at 6. And you continue to follow breaking news tonight at 6. Within the last hour, investigators say they've learned the name of the gunman that killed 3 people at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas campus. But they're not releasing that right now. We have also learned a 4th person was shot and is currently in the hospital in critical condition. Thanks for joining us. I'm Derek Dice. Police say this all started around noon when police heard reports of a shooter on campus. When officers arrived, they say they tracked down the gunman and shot and killed him. The university sent out an emergency alert warning students and staff to run, hide, fight.
I was just sitting on the steps out in the open, and there was like an event going on, like there was like a Lego party, and everyone's just kind of concerned and looking around, and then boom, everyone's running. And I didn't know what was happening. I was like, I guess we're all running, I'm running.
In this video, you can see police helping students evacuate from their classroom. Other schools nearby were also closed as a precaution. Police say the UNLV campus will be closed for the rest of the week. This is still a developing story, and we'll update you as we learn more. We now know the name of the suspected shoplifter who was shot and killed by a Spokane police officer over the weekend. The Spokane Medical Examiner says 34-year-old Carrie Jones Hilberg died from a gunshot wound to the torso. According to investigators, a police officer working security at the North Spokane Walmart saw Hilberg possibly using a device meant to remove anti-theft tags to steal merchandise. When the officer confronted him as he tried to leave the store, a fight broke out as they tried to handcuff him. Investigators say at some point, someone yelled gun. The officer then says the suspect has been shot. The officer who fired their weapon is now on administrative leave. A former staff sergeant will spend the next 2 years in prison for stealing ammunition from Fairchild Air Force Base. The sentence follows a multi-year investigation that started with anti-government threats online. Marissa Rio is in studio to explain.
According to court documents, 31-year-old John Sanger went on social media and called for an attack on the U.S. Capitol building following the 2020 election, saying they defrauded our election system and are still getting away with it. That means the system has run its course. People have to die. Because of posts like that, the FBI and the Air Force began investigating Sanger in August of 2021. During their initial investigation, Sanger met with an undercover officer. Sanger shared his thoughts on issues involving minority groups and how he was against the COVID-19 vaccine. Sanger even mentioned attacking the Spokane Public Health Building and COVID-19 testing sites with a Molotov cocktail. In 2022, Sanger met with the officer at Fish Trap Take. There, Sanger told the officer that multiple airmen at Fairchild were stealing ammunition from the base. Sanger said the other airmen would falsify records to cover their tracks, making it look like the ammunition was used during normal Air Force duties. After explaining how the scam worked, Sanger gave the undercover office some stolen rounds. A month later, Sanger was arrested when he stopped by the undercover officer's home to pick up an unregistered suppressor he had previously paid for. One of the FBI agents involved in the investigation released a statement reading in part, "Like all who served the United States, Mr. Sanger took an oath when he enlisted in the military. His actions violated that oath, and he violated the trust imparted to him by the American people." Once Sanger gets out of prison, he will be unsupervised released for 3 years. In studio tonight, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
All right, Marissa, thank you. All of this rain caused a part of this rural highway in southwest Washington to get washed out. It was closed for several hours today, but has since reopened. Now, we'll be getting a break from the rain soon, but Chris, that's because it will soon be turning into snow, right?
That is true, but we're also going to be drying out. So we're going from heavy to moderate rain to very, very light snow. Let's take a look at our Doppler radar right now, and we have this steady rain in progress around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. some of the heavier precipitation currently just a little bit further to the north from Deer Park up around Chewelah in particular. Cusick also seeing some heavier precipitation right now, and this is going to continue this evening. We'll start drying out a little bit as we get into tomorrow morning. And here's what's going on. We are still right in the path of this atmospheric river. This band of precipitation is going to start making its way to the east by early tomorrow morning, finally clearing out of the area. That's going to allow windy conditions and cooler air to follow in behind it. In the meantime, we do still have a flood advisory in effect for the area shaded in light green on your screen. In particular, keeping an eye on the Pack River and Schweitzer Creek just north of Sandpoint, where we have seen some of the heaviest precipitation totals in the last 48 hours. Temperatures right now are above average and above freezing. We're in the 40s just about everywhere, 50 degrees in Lewiston. It will be a cooler day tomorrow. We'll start off in the mid to upper 30s, heading to a high of 41. That's still a good 5 degrees above average. It will be a windy day in the morning. Rain to start, and then we'll start to see some snow trying to mix in with the rain as we get into the late afternoon and evening. I'll be back to tell you more about the snow on the way for the weekend in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, Chris, thanks so much. Well, the heated discussion about control over books at the Liberty Lake Public Library has ended, at least for now, with a new ordinance. The City Council passed it 5-2 last night. As Peter Choi reports, it could give the City Council the final say over the library board's policies.
Now, this new ordinance will give City Council members some control over the library board policies. I spoke with the chair of the library board today, and he tells me he's disappointed with the decision and he's concerned about the future policymaking for the community.
To mitigate ongoing issues about library books, the City Council passed a new solution for the community.
And they've always wanted to be part of the conversation.
The question is, what can or can't the City Council do under this new ordinance?
Could suggest to the board, hey, we would like you to look at policy A or B. That could happen.
It could open the door for the council to request or demand policy changes. Under the current rule, if anyone requests a book challenge, it will go to the library director for review. The library board members will have a final say. I asked the city administrator if the new ordinance will impact future book selection.
The current policy that's in place for collection development does not give the City Council a ultimate voice in any kind of content challenge.
A library board chairman says his concern is about future policies.
Anything that would come to them that they would want to have addressed in terms of how books are collected, what books are collected, how books are reviewed, would all be in their hands directly.
The city mayor chose not to sign the ordinance Tuesday night. She says it won't have an effect on the ordinance implementation. In Liberty Lake, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
Well, the state of Washington will pay nearly $17 million to victims abused at a Pend Oreille County group home. The abuses at the J-Bar-D Ranch date back to the 1970s and 80s. And nearly 40 years later, survivors are finally getting some justice for the hell they endured under the care of the state.
DSHS, you were the custodial parents when you took these children in as wards and designated them for foster care. It was your obligation to protect them. It was not these boys' fault that J-Bar-D staff members were taking them into the woods in the middle of the night and raping them. It was not their fault that they were getting stabbed by sexually aggressive youth who had been placed there alongside of Down syndrome kids or cerebral palsy kids.
That was attorney Daryl Cochran, who's made it his mission now to advocate for survivors. One of those survivors is a main reason J-Bar-D Ranch was forced to close its doors. You'll hear his heart-wrenching story in Robin Nance's special report tomorrow on 4 News Now at 6. All right, still ahead, our nonstop rain is melting the snow at our local ski areas. Meteorologist Matt Gray explains how long it will take for things to return to normal on the slopes. And 80,000 people will soon have their federal student loans forgiven. Coming up, which group this round of debt cancellation is meant to help.
and what you can do to prevent package theft coming up on 4 News Now.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+.
Saving you green.
After a quick flight to the North Pole, at-risk children can experience the magic of Christmas through Fantasy Flight.
A child should have amazing and magical Christmas memories. The Spokane Fantasy Flight creates a once-in-a-lifetime adventure to the North Pole full of gifts, love, laughter, and elves.
The America Credit Union is honored to partner with organizations like Fantasy Flight as they work to enhance lives, fulfill dreams, and build communities.
Check out more organizations that make our community stronger at numericacu.com.
What is a jewelry design center? It's a diamond superstore, a center for engagement rings, wedding bands, and anniversary rings, a showroom with unique creations as well as award-winning designers, a fun, comfortable, no-pressure place where you're free to make big, small, or even no decisions at all. We are not your average jewelry store. We are Jewelry Design Center, and we want to be your jeweler for life.
My dry eyes made me a burning, stinging 5 times a day.
Makeup smearing, drops user.
I want another option. That's not another drop.
Tyrvaya. It's not another drop. It's the first and only nasal spray for dry eye. Tyrvaya treats the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease fast by helping your body produce its own real tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief.
Ask your eye doctor about Tyrvaya.
Respect, protect, pay essential grocery store workers.
I work in the back warehouse. New employees are not getting the safety training they need.
Corporate sets the hours we get to train our new employees. I'm the main trainer, and I never seem to have enough time to prepare them.
UFCW 3000 fights to make sure that essential workers get better wages, respect on the job, and a safe workplace.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks, UFCW 3000.
Next ET, our Shannon Doherty exclusive, plus only we're with the cast of Mean Girls. Then
ET, welcome to Hawaii.
The cast of NCIS Hawaii enters its LL era. Next ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
It's time, y'all. Come on. It's a new season from my new home in NYC.
Watch Kelly weekdays at 4 and 4 News Now at 5.
Video of package thieves in Spokane are all over sites like Facebook and Nextdoor right now. While the holidays bring excitement for gift giving, they also bring a significant surge in package theft. According to Security.org, package thieves stole more than $8 billion worth of items last year. 4 News Now's Allison Martinez is live with what you can do to minimize your chances of becoming a victim. Allison.
We all have those special packages we wait anxiously for. Well, as soon as these boxes hit the doorstep, they're at risk of getting stolen. This is exactly what happened to Coral Levy just 30 minutes after her package was delivered.
Oh, I instantly started crying.
Coral Levy was expecting a box from her little brother who is in the Marines. And it was hand-picked gifts and handwritten letters for birthdays, Hanukkah, and Christmas. Within 30 minutes of being delivered, she watched the box being stolen on her doorbell camera.
Like nothing that I could technically reorder. That's all stuff that he picked for me.
The thief didn't stop there. They also stole from her neighbors. The Spokane Police Department says this is common for package thieves.
I'm always on edge looking out for my packages and stuff now too, so just an unfortunate thing, yeah, you got to deal with.
Tim Schwering from the Spokane Police Department recommends giving shipping instructions like putting the packages in your garage, backyard, or with a neighbor. Other ideas are making sure you're home for your deliveries, requiring a signature, or shipping your package to a store. Having a door camera is always a good idea, too.
You gotta kind of watch your back, I guess.
The Spokane Police Department says if this has happened to you, make sure you report it by calling Crime Check. If you have any security footage of the incident, make sure to pass that along as well. Reporting in Spokane, Allison Martinez, 4 News Now.
All right, Allison, thank you. And it's not just package thefts. Experts say cybercrime is on the rise as well, with one cybersecurity client officer for Wells Fargo saying artificial intelligence has made some scams more sophisticated and tougher to spot.
Threat actors using artificial intelligence and specifically bots to gain user credentials, steal assets, and get other information that users, more common than not, put out on social media, various social platforms, and the threat actors use that to build a profile in order to more easily guess what those credentials may be.
But there are things you can do to keep your money safe. Hudson says keep the security software on your devices up to date, change your passwords regularly, avoid using public Wi-Fi, and double check the link and name of the website you're on. You should also avoid saving your personal and financial information on a site. Instead, Hudson recommends typing it in each time to make a purchase, and the safest method of payment is, of course, a credit card.
When you are using a credit card, there is a certain amount of historical information that is attached to that credit card. Typically, threat actors don't like to engage with the use of credit card because of that tracking.
Now, if you do find yourself falling victim to a scam or cybercrime, first and foremost, reach out to your bank and the Federal Trade Commission. They can help you handle those situations.
Another day in the 50s in Spokane. Our high today of 50, closer to our record than our average high. Sunset these days is in the 3 o'clock hour. These are dark days, especially with rain clouds all day. We've had 38/100ths of an inch of precipitation at the airport, and it's still raining. I'll let you know when to expect snow after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by $1 Million Quartet Christmas. 2 shows December 23rd.
Rugged, capable off-road travel, adept at towing heavy loads, the completely redesigned Nissan Pathfinder has all the features buyers are looking for in a full-size SUV. Check these features: seating up to 8 with easy access third row, cabin noise reduction, super smooth 9-speed transmission, towing up to 6,000 pounds with 284 horsepower, classy upscale design, and two-tone style. There's lots more with this Pathfinder. Find out at Coeur d'Alene Nissan, just off Highway 95.
Do you have property damage? Burke's Restoration provides full-service emergency response for residential and commercial disasters. Wind damage? Burke's can handle that. Is flooding your problem? Burke's Restoration knows just what to do. Fire or smoke damage? Call Burke's today. You didn't plan on a disaster, but you have a choice on who restores it. Choose the best. Burke's Restoration takes care of fire, smoke, wind, or water damage and more. Tell your insurance company you choose Burke's Restoration. Call or click today.
Every boy and every girl, sing joy, joy, joy to the world, and the wonders of His love will fill your heart. Oh, you sing joy, joy, joy to the world. Joy, 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 joy to the world.
Mr. Casino Hotel is the place to spend this holiday season for your chance to win. PVR tickets, retro boom boxes, Nintendo Switch gaming devices, PS5 gaming consoles, Hawks game tickets, and of course, cash.
'Tis the season for big mattress savings during the year-end inventory reduction sale at Walker's.
Find your comfort on a new Beautyrest Black Hybrid or save big on Hot Buy mattresses. Plus save 25% on Beautyrest Harmony year-end model close-ups. And say yes to no money down. No minimum purchase financing for up to 5 years.
Plus, get $300 of additional free furniture with qualifying mattress purchases, making it a season to remember during the year-end sale at Walker's.
Oh, it's Christmas tree elegance time at the Davenport. Today, it was the luncheon day where we honor the scads of volunteers that make Christmas tree elegance possible every year. They are ahead of their record pace, basically, selling those $1 tickets.
And I remember they said they printed like 500,000 tickets.
Yes,
so,
they did.
Wow. And they're all just $1 each.
And
so.
we're going to, yeah, that is the best deal ever. They have not raised the price in the decades they've been doing it. The drawing for those trees is on Sunday.
Get out there before Sunday.
Yes, yes, yes. And the weather Sunday It's going to be wet, but maybe not like it has been the past several days. Here's a look at 4 things to know about your weather. It's rain overnight tonight and this evening into a windy Thursday morning. We may get a little break in the wet weather Thursday morning. It's going to be a drier day, but not a dry day. And by the time we're into the afternoon, some snow mixing in with the rain and then more snow Saturday. Valley accumulation should be fairly light. Taking a big picture look at our satellite and radar, you'll notice on the west side of the state, you've seen the horrendous photos of the mudslides and the roads washed out there. That is starting to slowly dry out, and the focus of this atmospheric river is shifting to the east and will continue to do that over the next 24 hours. You can see it on the forecast radar starting off at 7 o'clock tonight. Still plenty of wet weather to move through Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, but here we are 7 o'clock tomorrow morning and we begin to dry out a little bit with most of the wet weather to the south of I-90 and just some light precipitation further to the north. As we go through the day, we may see some more rain, possibly mixed with snow by the time we're into the afternoon, because we are bringing in some cooler air behind our front. We're certainly seeing some snow in the mountains. A winter weather advisory in effect from 2 o'clock in the morning until 10 a.m. on Friday. Above 3,000 feet, 3 to 7 inches of snow there. In terms of rainfall totals between over the next 24 hours, still some impressive totals, especially from Coeur d'Alene down through Pullman. Quite a bit drier as we head into the Columbia Basin. It is going to be a windy day on Thursday in the morning. Wind gusts 25, possibly even 30 miles per hour, and then those winds will die down as the day goes on. Here is a look at your planning forecast. Friday, we're going to get a little bit of a break from the wet weather. There is a potential that some of this precipitation from Thursday will turn into some light snow by Friday morning. Just a dusting in Coeur d'Alene, maybe a trace in Spokane, and then icy roads on top of that. So Friday morning's commute could be slick, even though we're not going to be shoveling Friday morning. Then the rest of the day should be dry. We have snow coming in Saturday. Right now, it looks like in the 1 to 2 inch range in Spokane, with more in the mountains. More of a rain-snow mix on Sunday, and then drier but colder weather next week, including high temperatures Tuesday and Wednesday, down below freezing, and some overnight lows in the 20s. So hopefully we'll have a little bit of snow that will be sticking around. We need that snow desperately in the mountains because the snow from last week is melting away. Meteorologist Matt Gray picks up our coverage, tracking that aspect of the storm and how long it could affect the winter sports season, Matt.
And it has been quite the change here for the last couple of days. It's rained more in the Spokane area so far here in December than it has snowed. And in the mountains, it is no different with this atmospheric river. As a result, most of the snow that we had to start this month has already washed away downstream. So let us begin in the Schweitzer area, where we started the month with about 16 inches of snow. But by the morning of the 4th, a big change, 29 inches. Today, though, less than 20 at the start of today, and certainly more has melted as the day's gone on. The snow monitor there at about 6,000 feet, and so where you're seeing in the image there at about 4,500 feet at the lodge, the story is even worse down the mountain. Schweitzer reported 6 inches of rain over the past 2 days, and they stated that they are uncertain when they will be able to reopen the mountain. Let's turn now to another spot with some decent elevation. That's Lookout Pass. 19 inches of snow earlier in this month. It is now down to 10. The average temperature on Tuesday at Lookout Pass was 40 degrees. Shows you how much of that tropical air came in with the rain as well. And it is even worse as we head into the Selkirk Mountains that overlook Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, home of Mount Spokane. And for the first time this season, these mountains had over a foot of snow on the ground just a couple of days ago. But with the elevation down around 4,000 feet, there is basically almost no snow left here as of Wednesday morning, and I'm sure it is much worse now. Mount Spokane on Tuesday said they were targeting this Saturday for opening day, but in my professional opinion, that dream is dead. There is fresh mountain snow, as Chris mentioned, coming over the next 3 days, but it is not going to make up totally for the pitiful conditions that you saw in the background of many of our screens here with how those trails are looking. And then there is the long-term forecast. If you're looking for some more snow replenishment once this next round of snow comes through over the next couple of days, well, I tell you what, things are looking awful quiet, at least until the second half of this month.
All right, Matt, tough luck for Mount Spokane, I tell you. If you'd like to take a deeper dive into our weather and how it impacts you, you'll like Matt's newsletter, The Brainstorm. Every week, you'll get analysis and science behind the forecast right to your inbox. Sign up right now at KXLY.com. Well, one local animal shelter is seeing a rise in abused animals. The toll it's taking on employees coming up after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
The all-new Bet Ahead feature is now live at Caesars Sportsbook, located inside Spokane Tribe Casino. Make your picks online from anywhere before you place your cash bets. Only at Spokane Tribe Casino. You just win here.
Some know it as prime rib. Officially, it's called a ribeye roast. We call ours divine. Tender, mouth-watering Hereford beef, aged 5 weeks to absolute perfection. Oven-ready and easy. Divine beef ribeye roast. Reserve yours immediately, exclusively at Yoke's Fresh Markets.
This Christmas, treat yourself or a loved one to a new vehicle from Finley. With delayed payments for up to 90 days and bigger than normal trade-in values for your old ride, giving you plenty of reasons to upgrade to a new RAV4, Tacoma, or Tundra truck. And if you're looking for a certified pre-owned vehicle, we've got lots of great choices for everyone.
I'm looking for something sporty and fast.
Don't you have somewhere to be?
Ho, ho, ho!
Travel, there is nothing like it. Dancing is my passion. But with my moderate to severe eczema, it hasn't always been easy. I was constantly itching, whatever I was doing. Now, I'm staying ahead of my eczema.
There's a power inside all of us to live our passion. And Dupixent works on the inside to help heal your skin from within. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema, so adults can have long-lasting, clearer skin and fast itch relief. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor.
Healing from within is a powerful thing.
Ask your eczema specialist how Dupixent can help heal your skin from within.
Spokane Tribe Casino brings you laughs and rock and roll like never before. Live on December 14th is comedy sensation Nikki Glazer. And don't miss the biggest acts of the 80s during the 80s Rock Invasion on December 16th. All at Spokane Live. Entertainment without limits.
4 News Now is brought to you by Post Falls Volkswagen.
All right, new at 6. Today, President Biden signed an executive order that will make it easier for indigenous people to access federal funding, saying his administration is working to heal the wrongs of the past.
We've made progress, but we know indigenous communities still live in the shadows of the failed policies of the past. To honor the solemn promise the United States made to tribal nations to fulfill our federal trust and treaty obligations and to work together to rebuild tribal economies and institutions.
President Biden is also endorsing an initiative to allow a team of Native American athletes to field their own lacrosse team in the 2028 Olympics. Native Americans invented this sport, and the Haudenosaunee Confederacy would like to have their lacrosse team compete under their own flag in Los Angeles. Well, tens of thousands of people who owe student loans are getting off the hook. President Biden announced nearly $5 billion of student loan debt will be forgiven for more than 80,000 borrowers. Biden said the money would help teachers, members of the military, nurses, and other public service workers. Biden's announcement brings the total of debt cancellation to $132 billion for more than 3.6 million borrowers to date. For more information, go to studentaid.gov. All right, we have much more coming up tonight at 6:30, including why one mother says donating 30 minutes of your time could help save a child's life.
Cases of animal abuse and neglect are on the rise in Kootenai County. Hear how you can help coming up.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Arby's, 2 for $7 every day. The big beefy boy that started it all. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
Hi, I'm Dean, the owner of Carpet Barn. Right now, save up to 60% with clearance pricing.
Carpet starts at only 89 cents a foot. LVP for 78 cents a foot. And laminate at 99 cents a foot. Save 40, 50, even 60% now at Carpet Barn. Mohawk Revwood starts at $2.99 a foot, including pad. Got a small project? Get 2 remnants and the 3rd is free. But hurry, this offer is only good while supplies last. Get installation before the holidays at Carpet Barn's clearance sale.
Ironstone Furniture and Fire wants you to have all the comfort and total joy. Whether it's a cozy reason to hit snooze, eat dinner, or a spot to kick back, we have furniture that is good looking, well built, and comfortable. Just add your favorite people. In stock now. Visit our showroom, Ironstone Furniture and Fire in Coeur d'Alene.
When I was told I had a brain tumor, my life disappeared in a moment. I feared for my future, but even more, I feared for the ones I love. How would they move on without me? But when my doctor told me about the Gamma Knife of Spokane, everything changed. I can get my brain tumor treated in just 1 day and continue living the life I love. Because of Gamma Knife, I have hope.
Arby's, 2 for $7 every day. A classic, a favorite, an Arby's legend. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
The shocking romance switcheroo. Next, in some edition, Amy Robach and TJ Holmes lost their big TV jobs after their romance was exposed. The new report. Are their ex-spouses really dating each other? Then, the Hannibal Lecter face mask.
There we go. We're ready for takeoff.
They say it works wonders.
I was glowing.
But does it make you look like Hannibal Lecter? Dr. Hannibal Lecter. Next, in some edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Well, heavy rainfall is causing creeks and rivers to overflow in western Washington, covering roads and cutting people off from their homes. The good news is that rain will soon come to an end. Bad news, Chris, is that it's being replaced with some snow.
Yes, we are going to see a transition to more of a rain-snow mix. Let's take a look right now at the flood advisory that is still in effect until 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. The Pack River, Schweitzer Creek running very, very high. That's just north of Sandpoint, where some of the heaviest rain and snow melt has been over the past 48 hours. Radar right now shows we have a lot of precipitation moving through our region presently. Those darker yellows and reds are where we're seeing some of the heavier rain, and there's even more upstream that's going to be working its way through overnight before we eventually begin drying out. Right around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, we're seeing the steady rain, but the heavier rains are just north of us around Chewelah and further, as I mentioned, downstream or upstream, we're looking just north of I-90, south of the Harrington area near Odessa, where that precipitation is moving to the north and east, right on into the metro area. Our temperatures right now are in the 40s. We are definitely seeing our snow level quite high. It is slowly going to be dropping overnight before it drops significantly tomorrow night. But your Thursday planner, we are going to be staying as rain through tomorrow morning with temperatures in the 30s. We'll peak at 41 and then start to see a rain-snow mix developing as some cooler air comes in. A windy start to the day, but then our winds will subside as the day goes on. I'll be back to talk more about the potential of snow tomorrow night into Friday morning and have some Wildlife Wednesday photos. Again, that's coming up in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. Well, every day, Companions Animal Center, formerly the Kootenai County Humane Society, is seeing at least one new instance of animal abuse or neglect. One animal surrendered to the shelter was left without food and water for days. Bronte Sorotsky explains the extent of this abuse that shelter workers see.
Lately, there has been more cases of neglected and abused animals showing up to the Humane Society here in Kootenai County, leaving them to wonder how anyone could be so cruel.
You can't believe what the abuse some of these animals have gone through.
Debbie Jeffrey doesn't cry easily, but she says with new animals suffering severe abuse coming in almost every day, she's been brought to tears.
You have to be tough in this job because you see a lot. But when you see the abuse a different situation every day, it just starts getting to you mentally.
The state of one animal brought into the shelter a few weeks ago broke her.
When somebody found the cat and they had put a zip tie around its testicles. But the cat, when he came in, he was the sweetest little thing you ever wanted to see.
Other animals have similar backstories.
We had one come in yesterday that was left in an apartment for at least 2 or 3 days with no food or water.
Debbie says it's becoming more common for people to surrender animals because they can no longer afford them.
It's just sad that today with the cost of everything, people don't have a lot of discretionary income left. Because if you have an animal, you know the bag of food that you fed them last year might have been $50 or $60. Today, that same bag is $90 or $100.
I asked the shelter's director how the community can help as they receive this influx of abused animals, and they say just bringing them in when you find them is helpful to them. Reporting in Kootenai County, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
All right, and don't forget, you can stay up to date with news and weather anytime you want it. Just download KXLY Plus from your Roku, Amazon Fire, or other TV service, and you'll get breaking news live as it happens and weather every 10 minutes. You'll also get stories from the 4 News Now team and updated headlines anytime you turn it on. Well, the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office identified the remains found near Timber Ridge Road last month. The remains were identified as 36-year-old Jacob Fulweiler. He was reported missing back in February. The Sheriff's Office says the remains appear to have been there for months. The cause of his death is still under investigation. An elementary school in Spokane Valley hosted a blood drive today in honor of 4 students who have cancer or have had it and needed blood donations to survive. Marissa Rios spoke with one of the families and shares the impact blood donations can have.
While some of us may not know whose life we are saving when we donate blood, this hits especially close to home for the community at Sunrise Elementary School. A mother of one of the kids who had stage 4 cancer wants people to know that 30 minutes of your time can save a life, just like it did for her daughter.
And for Emerson to have not had blood, it would have cost us everything.
This little girl in the photo is Emerson Pentecost, and that was her mom speaking. Emerson was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer when she was just 4 years old.
I needed my daughter to survive, and her survival depended on the donations of other people giving their blood.
Emerson and 3 other students were honored during today's drive. As soon as someone walked into the Vitalant bus, they were welcomed with their photos. Jade Grochik, Mason Diamond, Emerson Pentecost, and Kelly Anderson.
To think that if you just could give 30 minutes to give Emerson a discharge home or Kelly a discharge home so that they can go home and play and be with their family is the ultimate gift.
Today's Vitalant bus was full of donors. Donating is free, and one first-time donor said the whole process took less than an hour.
I would totally do it again. I'm not a big fan of needles, so I think that was what was nerve-wracking, but yeah, seeing how easy it was and how pain-free, and it was just a quick prick, and so I'd happily do it again.
For more information on how you can donate, you can visit our website at kxly.com. Emerson has been cancer-free for 2 years now. Kelly is the only student that is still fighting. When you decide to donate blood, you can potentially save up to 3 lives. And you never know, you could be helping out a little girl like Callie. Reporting in studio, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
Marissa, thank you. The Coeur d'Alene Police Foundation is back with their 8th annual Holiday Hospital Toy Drive. In past years, over $20,000 worth of toys, clothes, and gift cards have been distributed to local kids. The next day you can donate is this Saturday at the Hayden Walmart from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Just a small effort can make a huge impact for hospitalized kids. From our locations where you can drop off new toys at any time, visit this story on KXLY.com. All right, just in time for the start of Hanukkah tomorrow, a menorah has been added to the holiday lights at Cowley Park today. The lights are shining for the patients and staff at Sacred Heart Children's Hospital. You can go and see the display by the 4 News Now Extreme team through the end of the month. And you never know, sometimes Mark keeps it on a little bit longer. All right, still ahead, a decades-old used car scam is making a comeback. How to tell if a car's mileage has been rolled back? Next on 4 News Now.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Parker Subaru.
Tony, your parents know you're over here again, right?
Yep.
Great.
Tony lives next door. See, his parents decided to just use their phone for home internet. So when everyone is on, Tony's over here streaming and drinking all my soda.
My dog.
Get internet on the Xfinity 10G network for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract.
We're going to bed, Tony.
Good night. I'll lock up if I leave.
Get real home internet on the next generation 10G network only from Xfinity.
Toyotathon is on. Time to make the holidays picture perfect with a new Toyota, like Camry, Tacoma, Grand Highlander, and more. Celebrate the season with a new Toyota. We're gonna need a bigger tree.
Did you know that every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care? A 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan and roadside assistance. That's the value you can expect from Toyota.
'Tis the season for Toyotathon.
Toyota, let's go places.
Your whole health is more than what you find at the doctor's office, because it's all around you. The food you eat, what makes you happy, and what keeps you up at night. The place you call home. It's why we created a health insurance company that considers so much more. WellPoint, your whole health is our whole point.
Do you show your Vandal pride? Dave sure does. He proudly dons the silver and gold when he's at work, mowing the yard, and especially on game day.
Hey, can we get 3 tacos?
I got this.
Where did you get that?
You don't have a Vandals debit card?
Don't worry, Dave. You can get your Vandal debit card by visiting p1fcu.org/GoVandals. Go Vandals!
If somebody's out there and they're on the streets and they feel lost, I just want them to know that there is hope. And everybody ultimately may give up on you. It's very important that you don't give up on yourself. I know it's hard and I know it's difficult and you feel like you're not going to make it, but if you want to make it, best believe you're going to make it. Even though you don't think you can change, you can. And when you're ready, there are people out there that will help you.
It is Wildlife Wednesday time. We're going to start off with a buck standing in the rain. I bet there are a lot of animals standing in the rain these days. From Mark Bodie says, the first rut is over. This guy is rested up and ready for the second rut and looking for a fight. So he's ready to go. Beautiful shot, Mark. I love this picture from Sherry Gwynn. These bald eagles are well known in the Bonners Ferry area. This cute couple. Now the female is larger than the male. I can't tell which one is bigger than the other one. I think it's the one on the left is the female. I'll have to have my birding experts on my Facebook page take a closer look. Finally, from Jay Hoover, a cow and calf moose in Riverside State Park. Just enjoying the shade and a beautiful day there. I love this photo. Thank you so much. Well, again, everybody's getting rain-soaked right now. Some of the more steady rain that we have seen during this whole atmospheric river event is in progress now, but it is slowly making its way to the east, and we will be drying out, but not before we get some impressive rainfall totals once again. This takes us through Thursday, tomorrow at 5 o'clock, with some of the heavier precipitation this time a little bit further to the south. Coeur d'Alene, Ritzville, Moscow and Pullman, St. Mary's and Kellogg. Again, we have a winter weather advisory for the central Panhandle Mountains. Our forecast radar starting off at the current time shows that back edge of the more steady precipitation moving to the east. Here's 7 o'clock tomorrow morning with the potential break in the action. Won't last long. We have rain moving in the afternoon, and we'll begin to see a rain-snow mix developing late tomorrow night. Let's take a look at the potential for snow. Forecast snow starting off at 6 o'clock. Our current time, and we'll start to see some high mountain snow developing by Thursday afternoon. Here's Mount Spokane, Micah Peak, some of the central Panhandle Mountains, and then as we get into Thursday overnight, Friday morning, a little bit of valley snow showing up. Icy roads too. Any wet surface will be freezing as temperatures drop below freezing for the first time in a while. We'll be at 41 tomorrow. Windy conditions in the morning. It will not last long. Winds will die down. 28 for a morning low. Friday should be dry but cool. 37, 35 on Saturday with a chance of snow. Right now it looks like that snow in the valleys will be light in the 1 to 2 inch range with a little bit more in the mountains, but it's not a big storm. And then a rain snow mix on Sunday. Finally, some drier weather ahead next week, but also colder. Highs in the lower 30s and overnight lows down in the lower 20s, Derek.
All right, getting chillier. Well, an old odometer scam is making a comeback. ABC's Steve Osunsami explains how it works and how not to fall victim when buying a used car.
Paul Burrows lives in Iowa and says he had no idea that the mileage on his pretty new car was a lie. In November, he found an incredible deal and paid $10,000 for this 2015 Audi A6 to a private owner in Chicago, thinking it only had 66,000 miles. But when he registered the car with the state, he discovered the truth.
The mileage has been altered. That car has 185,000 miles on it and not 66,000 miles on it.
We asked experts to run the vehicle, and they tell us that if those low miles were real, the car could have been worth as much as $18,000.
Was I heartbroken a little bit? Yes, because, I thought maybe I was getting a really good car at 66,000 miles.
As we discovered, it only takes minutes to cheat.
So go through and already selected Chevrolet, HHR. Yeah. This is a 2009 model.
Josh Engel repairs vehicle odometers north of Atlanta and says that thieves can quickly change an odometer reading.
All right, there's our kilometer value.
Yeah.
We'll go to 70,000 kilometers.
And you just tell it a new number.
That's it. Hit enter, and you'll see mileage will go change. 43,000 miles on it.
It changed instantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean
seconds.
Yeah, it takes no time.
Yeah. Does the car have a record of I've been tampered with?
Some do, some don't. This one does not.
According to Carfax, new data tells them that there are about 2.1 million cars on American roads with odometers that have been rolled back, up 7% from a year ago and 14% from 2 years ago. And the cost to American car buyers is more than $1 billion each year, according to the federal government.
So there are sometimes organized scammers and there are sometimes one-off people.
Experts say the best protection is to always get a report using your car's VIN and have an independent mechanic look underneath the car before you buy.
They can look for overly worn brake pedals. They can look for shocks and struts that may seem much more worn than that odometer reading suggests.
There's one bit of good news for someone buying a relatively new used car. Experts say that a new car or an electric car, for example, that reports its mileage online or to the cloud is harder to mess with, but they warn that the crooks will catch up there too. The best bet still is to get a full report on any used car you're about to buy. Steve Osunsami, ABC News, Atlanta.
From All in the Family to Sanford and Son and The Jeffersons, the man behind some of America's most iconic shows and 70s sitcoms, Norman Lear, passed away late last night. Lear was credited with breaking barriers by exploring controversial social issues like race, civil rights, and the Vietnam War on TV.
When we introduced Americans to the Bunkers and the Jeffersons, people weren't used to TV shows dealing with issues like racism and sexism. But we thought humor was a way into people's hearts.
Over the years, Lear's talents also hit the big screen with The Princess Bride, Fried Green Tomatoes, Stand By Me, and Divorce American Style. He served the country as an Air Force radio operator and gunnery sergeant during World War II, flying 52 combat missions. At the 2021 Golden Globes, Lear was given the prestigious Carol Burnett Award, honoring his many years of excellence in television. Lear passed away at his home in Los Angeles, surrounded by family. He was 101 years old. Quite the legend. All right, Washington State volleyball is gearing up for one of the biggest games in program history.
That's right. The Cougars are in the Sweet 16 for the first time in 5 years. It's exciting, and we take a look at tomorrow's historic matchup for WSU.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Adventure awaits at Silver Mountain Resort this winter. Enjoy some of the best terrain in the region, only 30 minutes east of Coeur d'Alene, right off I-90. Family, friends, and smiles as big as the wide-open vistas. Relax in a beautiful condo just a stroll away from dining, water slides, indoor surfing, and 84 degrees. And a gondola ride away from our new covered carpet lift, tubing, and acres of snow rider heaven. Your winter adventure awaits at Silver Mountain. Book today at silvermt.com.
My dry eyes made me a burning, stinging 5 times a day.
Makeup smearing, drops user.
I want another option. That's not another drop.
Tyrvaya. It's not another drop. It's the first and only nasal spray for dry eye. Tyrvaya treats the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease fast by helping your body produce its own real tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief.
Ask your eye doctor about Tyrvaya.
At the Salvation Army, a rent check isn't just a rent check. It's a hangout, a safe haven, a sanctuary, a place to grow and grow closer, a treasured past and plans for the future. With your gift, families know that wherever they go, they can always come back home.
It's time to say yes to your healthcare story. The Washington Health Plan Finder helps you find new health plan options like Cascade Care. These plans cover primary care visits, mental health services, and generic drugs all before meeting a deductible. Start your next chapter off right by enrolling in your 2023 health plan at wahealthplanfinder.org. Don't wait until it's too late. Enroll now.
Spokane Exercise Equipment is the Inland Northwest premier provider of top-of-the-line exercise and rehabilitation equipment. Once the Spokane Exercise Equipment technicians have finished setting up your new home gym, that's when the workout competition begins. Spokane Exercise Equipment has all you need to achieve your fitness goals. They offer delivery, installation, service, and maintenance for all residential and commercial customers. Visit them in downtown Spokane or go online to see their full line of products.
4 News Now is brought to you by Foothills Mazda.
Nichols was there. Almodovar, wide side, too long, and Washington State, for the 5th time in program history, is headed to the Sweet 16.
Well, that was the scene in Pullman when Washington State volleyball punched its ticket to that Sweet 16 round. The Cougars are hoping to make the most of it. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minenso. WSU will take on top-seeded Pittsburgh in the NCAA tournament on Thursday. A trip to the Elite Eight is on the line. The Cougars haven't been to the Sweet 16 since 2018, but they aren't strangers to big games. This will be Washington State's 12th match against a ranked opponent this season. The Cougars have won 7 of those games to just 4 losses. Washington State is the underdog, but if you ask head coach Jen Greeny, this is exactly where the Cougars expected to be.
5 years ago. Same thing, we were able to host in Pullman and advance. Got to go to Stanford at that point in time, but yeah, none of these players were on that team. They came, at least these freshmen that have been here for 5 years, came right after that. And with that group, we've only advanced to the second round, and so that was a big part of why they decided to come back.
And things get started at 11:30 a.m. tomorrow. The winner will meet the winner of Louisville and Creighton in the Elite Eight on Saturday. Now it's do or die time for the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle sits behind the LA Rams for one of the final spots in the playoffs in the NFC, behind a multitude of teams, actually. So there are 4 teams for 2 spots. Now, Seattle doesn't have the tiebreaker with the Rams. They could still make it, but it won't be easy. Seattle has 5 games left, and a majority of them are against the best teams in the league. And it starts against the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday. The Niners clobbered the Seahawks on Thanksgiving Day. It was a part of Seattle's 3-game losing streak. Head coach Pete Carroll is looking for his team to take it up a level in a crucial final stretch of the season.
We kind of went toe-to-toe with Dallas last week. Didn't get that done the week before. I think we're rounding into it. I think we can have a great finish. This is the 4th quarter of the season is now on, and we'll see how we do and see if we can get a great push.
Kickoff is just after 1 o'clock on Sunday. We'll have coverage for you right here on 4 News Now. And Washington State men's basketball is about to get underway against UC Riverside. Tip-off is in just a few minutes, around 7 o'clock. WSU, they're red hot right now, riding a 4-game winning streak. And UC Riverside hasn't won on the road this season, but they just took UCLA to a 1-point game last week.
Yeah.
So Cougars can't take them lightly, or else they'll be an upset. That's just how college basketball goes.
Bruins needed like a last-minute shot to win it, right? Pretty crazy. All right, before we head to break, let's take a look at what's ahead in your ABC primetime lineup tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
The all-new Bet Ahead feature is now live at Caesars Sportsbook, located inside Spokane Tribe Casino. Make your picks online from anywhere before you place your cash bets. Only at Spokane Tribe Casino. You just win here.
This may look like a holiday shopping showdown, but it's a Nissan sales event ad. Good thing my Rogue has intelligent all-wheel drive.
So does my Altima.
Now get 2.9% APR financing for 60 months on Rogue and get up to $1,000 a year in bonus cash on popular models. Better hurry. These offers won't be back in stock.
Tony, your parents know you're over here again, right?
Yep.
Great.
Tony lives next door. See, his parents decided to just use their phone for home internet. So when everyone is on, Tony's over here streaming and drinking all my soda.
My dog.
Get internet on the Xfinity 10G network for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract.
We're going to bed, Tony.
Good night. I'll lock up if I leave.
Get real home internet on the next generation 10G network only from Xfinity.
We love our house, but lately we've been feeling a little cramped.
So we talked to ICCU about a new home loan. The process was super quick, and we got a really great rate.
We start house hunting tomorrow.
Preferably something with a bigger garage.
Do more together this holiday in the Chevy that's right for you. The award-winning Chevy Equinox. The hard-working Chevy Silverado. Or the all-new high-tech Chevy Trax. Whatever your plans are this season, do more in a new Chevy. Use your Red Tag bonus cash to get $8,000 total cash allowance on this Silverado.
See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Spokane Tribe Casino brings you laughs and rock and roll like never before. Live on December 14th is comedy sensation Nikki Glazer. And don't miss the biggest acts of the 80s during the 80s Rock Invasion on December 16th. All at Spokane Live. Entertainment without limits.
4 News Now is brought to you by Clark's Diamond Jewelers.
Well, gang, we had a whole lot of stuff planned for you, but we only have 11 seconds, so it all went to the wayside.
Well, good night.
We'll see you at 11 o'clock tonight for Night Sight.